Hello, hello. Welcome to yet another one of my art things. Uh so oh my god, the story is progressing. The room has been breached. Jesse has made it in. He's made it to the futon. Let's see if he can get any further, shall we? It's a lot of fun with perspective. Again, in the last panel, panel 25, I wasn't able to give you the full overview of the room. So in this one, you can see the other half. Um, my sketches, as the scene gets larger, I've noticed that my sketches tend to be looser and looser, and it takes more iterations before uh, I'm comfortable setting down those final lines. Maybe you don't need to work this way, but I find that it's helpful to not commit to detail until absolutely necessary. So, Aaron looking very hunky right over here. I'm, I wish, again, this is my first real comic, long form comic. Um, I wish that I had spent more time working on their character designs because I'm trying not to change too much, but I have noticed there are some small tweaks that I would like to make, some small changes, some small slips that I'm consistently starting to do as part of their character designs in these later pages. So who knows? You know what? There's plenty to learn here, and I'm gonna have to go back and redo some of the dialogue because not all the font sizes are correct, and not it. It wasn't until like page 15 that I fucking finally learned how to use dialogue bubbles correctly. So there's a bit of rework to do before I actually put this up for sale. I think for consistency's sake. Oh, but um, I think that I am going to go ahead and look at physical distribution for this thing once it's done, and I'm hoping it's done sometime in February. Uh, I haven't yet decided, what this is going to be, but uh, Mish recommended a place for me to go check out. Their physical copies. That's where he's getting his stuff done. So I guess I'm going to do that. And who knows? Sometime soon, maybe there's going to be a physical copy of this very first gosh dang darn comic that I did here. Boy, won't that be won't that be exciting? Anyway, that's to come. But I am kind of stoked about it, to be honest. It makes me feel like a real person with real comics. That's all I want to be. I want to be a real boy. Uh, the One of the things that I have gotten better about over the last couple of years has been doing hands without reference. Um, and the only way to get to it turns out the only way to get to being able to draw hands without reference is to draw a lot of hands with reference. Um, and I work on a iMac, and it has a built-in camera. Sometimes during the sketch phase, which I guess I still haven't showed you guys, but sometimes during the sketch phase, I will make a hand gesture or a pose or something in a very embarrassing kind of way in front of my iMac, and I find that the memory of the photograph and the sketch that I do is good enough. Now I'm replicating those goddamn bottles on the shelf on the windowsill. But I find that the only way to get good at hands is just draw a lot of fucking hands from reference. There is no getting around it. Um, but I am feeling good about the hands in this comic so far. I don't feel like I'm completely fucking up. Um, I didn't use the perspective tool for this room. It just didn't feel right. I'm still getting used to it. Man, I'm still getting used to it. So I had to do a bunch of tweaks and adjustments to make sure that everything in that room is passable. Uh, the door is coming into frame. So this room isn't that big. It's not that much bigger from Jesse's situation. You know, this dorm is really kind of weird. It's not a very standard layout. It's a very convenient layout for my story purposes, but it's not very standard. Um, I have I had a couple of people who asked me what the like international people, where international means not American, right? Who are asking me like, what the hell is what why is he teaching classes but he's he's living in the dorms? Well, so a teaching assistant in America is somebody who is a student, usually a graduate student, which means that they're working on an advanced degree, who is trusted sometimes to teach particular classes or to grade homework or do something like that. So that's what Jesse is. He still lives in the dorms, and he was kind of whining about that early on in the comic. And he is a TA. So my thinking for the story arc was the TA meant it would be a good excuse for him to kind of bump into Aaron and for them to have something to connect over. That's all it really is, because Aaron wants apparently to learn some computer science shenanigans. Yeah. Well, so getting to Aaron's face here, I kind of wish that I had done something more creative with his hair, the little zebra mane type thing. Right now, it's he's just apparently had a shower, so it's not standing up quite the way it was. But I wish that I had thought to do something else interesting. I mean, I like the fact that it's like he's a pretty generic like zebra design. It works pretty good, but eh, again, these characters were not. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about them. I guess I wanted them to. I guess I wanted to see how they would develop on their own. As it turns out, maybe a little more time spent on the character design would have been good. I would have liked to make them more unique. Jesse, especially, I had to work hard to keep him from evolving. He's gotten a little girlier, and that's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's not that big a deviation from the design, so whatever. Hydration is important. Hydrate is code for get fucked, apparently. If you offer somebody to hydrate, there's all kinds of ways that you could interpret that. Yeah, I wasn't quite happy with Aaron's face here. That was a kind of tricky angle, getting that expression right. I've been working hard in these expressions. It has shown me a lot of my own weaknesses here. So Aaron comes over. Aaron sits down. He's right there, man. Jesse is right there. He's playing it cool though, and I'm all the scenes in which these guys are interacting with each other are just really great. I kind of wish I hadn't spent so much time. We're in the third act here. We're bringing this shit to a close. I kind of wish Jesse had spent. I could have had a storyline where Jesse spent more time with Aaron. I like how these guys play off each other, and I wish that they had more conversations. As it is, they just had the short shower conversation, and then they have the TA conversation. Now they have this very brief pre-fuck. Oh, oops, spoilers. Pre-fuck conversation. But it's not much of one. There is going to be a little surprise cock block coming up here, but it's a fake out, man. It's a red herring. Don't fall for it. They're going to get down to business. Detailing the inside of this room is fun. I probably should have done an actual room layout, but it kind of let it evolve as it was in my head. Kind of the way that I've been designing these comics, and I don't know if this would work for a more complex story. Probably not. But I've kind of been playing it in my head kind of like a movie, and I've just been sort of transcribing what I've been seeing in my head. And as a result, I'm kind of in the dark as much as you guys are. I'm glad to see that finally they're getting to the point where some bonerific action is gonna happen. Bring this shit to a head. It's taken a lot longer than I thought. Page 26. Oh my god. But it's happening. I guess I learned a lot. So Jesus Christ, this is going to be valuable. This is going to be valuable for the next stuff. I like how Jesse's face turned out here. Figuring out how to draw him with less lines. His big old floppy ears. That's an example of one of the things that kind of changed. His ears got bigger throughout the course of this comic. He almost looks from sometimes when I draw him, he almost looks more like a mouse or something like that. If it weren't for that long deer muzzle type thing and the antlers and stuff, he looks more mousy, which, again, it fits his character, I guess. So it's fine. But the ears are a lot of fun drawing Jesse's ears. Maybe I should give him a piercing or like an earring or something like that. Maybe he'll get one later. Well, you know what? We'll see. I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of these guys. Maybe with this as groundwork, I can do something really cool next time. Whenever the hell I get around to doing a sequel for this, if people like it. Oh, sound effects. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to put those in, but I started just forcing myself to do it before I put down the dialogue. It makes remembering easier. Somebody showed me the dialogue tool in Illustrator, and it looks nicer than the one in Clip Studio Paint. So that's kind of a bummer. Clip Studio Paint is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's the most comprehensive package that I've found overall. But boy, oh boy, does it have some downsides. The text stuff isn't amazing. It's the automatic actions that I use for like exporting HD and low res versions of the page. They're not as comprehensive as Photoshop's actions, and this thing doesn't run on Linux, which isn't a big deal, I suppose. But boy, oh boy, I really want to switch to Linux, and this thing is holding me back. This is holding me to my Macs. I'm looking at some alternatives, but man, I don't want to. I have a workflow and stuff going. I like this thing. I want to support Clip Studio Paint, but god damn it, they could port it easily. I know they could. This is all proprietary C++ stuff. It works in Wine just fine on Linux. It's just that I have issues with the Wacom drivers for pressure sensitivity and stuff. Otherwise, I would be using this on Linux right the fuck now. Anyway, but I hope Clip Studio Paint eventually goes to Linux, then I can be done with Apple. Oh my god. Another interesting character tweak that I probably would make. I really like, in theory, the markings and stuff on Jesse. They're a little more complex than most of my characters. Unfortunately, they make his expressions a little difficult to read at times, and I have to be really careful when I'm coloring them in. I probably would have toned down the lips a little bit more, made them blend in with the the rest of the face a bit more. Yeah, a little disjointed. I'm being awfully self-critical in this episode, in this video. But to be honest, all of this is like, I feel like I've learned a hell of a lot that's going to carry me forward. And Jesus, it's been a lot of fun. This whole comic so far has been just a total blast to do. I hope you guys have had as much fun, being carried along for the ride as I have, making this thing. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing some more of these. This experience has convinced me that I like doing comics, and I'm going to do my very darndest to get better, to get more professional, and to get some more ideas out there for you guys to think about for what I want to do next. Right now, I'm planning on, after the run of this, again, I'm shooting to finish it in February. After the run of this, we're going to go with a couple of Patreon favorites. They're going to be able to, gold and platinum, I think, are going to be able to vote. Ooh, look at this. I'm bringing a little cameo, Eli, from that golden age. Anyway, gold and platinum are going to get to vote on what I do next. If I tweak this style a little, I might be able to do pages fast enough so that I can do 2 comics at once concurrently. But I don't know if that's just crazy. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to keep that many things in my head at once. So we'll fucking see about that. But I want to do more. I mean, that's the long and short of it. I want to do more. And those posters are a very subtle bisexual hint in Aaron's room there. So, oh, anyway, boy, oh boy, this has been an adventure. I don't know if I'll get around to posting the fucky pages, but you take what you can get. All right. Thank you.